Okay, make sure you can see me in the group. All right, looking good. Can you hear me? Yes, perfect. Okay, we are set up to talk all about an important topic today that I get a ton of questions about. Sometimes people don't ask directly about time management, but I can tell from their stress and their overwhelm with certain situations. Sometimes it's a time management issue, sometimes it's not. But a lot of times that these tips I'm going to share with you today could be helpful, especially if you're new to baking, or you're trying to grow really fast, or you just have a lot going on. Sorry, slowing down my face. You just have a lot going on and you need to kind of really focus on situating it out so that you can be more productive with your time, essentially. So I wanted you to know that you can hit the hashtag replay if you're on the replay. If not, I want you to throw up the hashtag live if you're here with me live. Now, since January is focused on new beginnings, right, here at Build a Better Bakery, I wanted to round out this month's topic with this struggle that a lot of us have. Even if we've been baking for a few years, it still can be kind of hairy when we talk about time management. And it's no lie that baking business is labor intensive. It just is. You can hire people, you can do it yourself. Either way, someone's got to do the parts. And it does have the capacity to take over our lives, which I'm sure some of you are thinking, yes, it has, or I've been there, because I've been there myself a couple different times for different reasons. But I promise that when you figure out where to start, which is why we're talking about this today, you can and you will take back control of your time. It is a place where you can find that control if you put in a couple, I'm calling them hacks today. I don't really like the word hacks, but strategies that will help you now so that you can be more successful with your time later. Okay. If you want to stay in the know about these lives, just in case, you can check the events here in the group. A day or two before, I tend to post what we're going to talk about. You can send me a friend request so that I can send you an invite whenever I put it up, so you don't really have to look for the event. You'll just get an invite on the Facebook platform. I can do that if we are linked as friends, or you can hang out on the email list. I don't send out replays, every day or every week. Sometimes it's a couple weeks. So if you want to replay later on, it doesn't matter that you're here live or not. I can do that for you if you're on the email list, or I share via YouTube often as well. Not everything, but some. So it'll be up there too. Okay. Hey, Tamara, good to see you. Just put up our hashtag live. I love that. All right. So the first thing, I'm going to hop right in with paying yourself first. This is a topic that a lot of people, when we're talking about pricing, pay yourself first. Yes, but in this concept, you're paying yourself with time. Sometimes I think this is even more important because burnout is so real that paying yourself with time is kind of like filling your cup, right? You can't continue to run a business if you never get time off. It's not going to feel good. You're not going to be happy about what you're doing. You're going to want to quit, because it's ruining all of your free time or the time with your family and your friends. We have to carve it out for ourselves. Now, this concept is going to serve you well, especially if you start as early as possible. So try not to put this one off because it's only going to get worse. It can be very easy to get sucked into baking all the time. People never get tired of eating stuff, right? They love what we make. We're good at it. They are going to continue to ask us. So we have to say, hey, I need some time off. This is when it's going to be. So you have to be proactive with this one. Scheduled time off before key, okay? Before orders or events take over your calendar. So don't wait to see if you're going to get any orders or not. I really suggest taking off what works best for you early and then making a habit out of that. So that could be a couple weekends that you want off, a vacation, a couple days during the week that you want to make sure you're not really doing anything so that you have time to do other stuff. What I do is set up a 4-day weekend once per month. It is aligned with my spouse's calendar so that I know we can spend time together. That's kind of how I landed on that. You might have a similar or different situation with your weekends where it'll be a little easier for you to choose which one or which of them that you don't want to be working. And then for me, I like to choose 4 to 6 days over the month that the kitchen is closed. So I'm doing whatever, during that time, but I'm not focusing on baking, and I can plan in other stuff like hanging out with friends, day trip shopping, whatever it is I need to get done. So the bottom line with this one is that many of us are people pleasers. It's just kind of comes with the territory. At heart, that's what we're going to do. So it can make it hard to say no because we have these things going on in our head that are related to people pleasing and relating to our customers always being around, right? Always trying to help them. And I often will have kind of a morbid thought. I'm going to share it. Some of you might not like this, but I have this thought in my head of what am I going to remember in my last days, right? If I'm sitting there and I know it's going to be over soon, what am I thinking about? Will it be a trip that I took with my favorite people to a beautiful beach that I'll remember forever? Is that something that I'll think about? Or will it be a cake I made one time for people, right? Likely it's going to be the trip. So when we think about what our lives are made out of, the fabric of our lives, paying ourselves with time gives us the opportunity to make that fabric beautiful and meaningful in other ways outside of work. So because we're entrepreneurs, we're our own boss at this point, we have to be good bosses and we have to give ourselves time. And hit that one home. Yeah, reformed people pleaser, exactly. It's just really common in this industry. So that's why that's number one. Number two is I suggest finding a good fit scheduling strategy for you. There are quite a few options out there. There's lots of ways to kind of finagle your calendar and your schedule to make it work for your brain and make it work for your lifestyle. In fact, our organization coach did a sweet little challenge with the Elite Mentorship Program recently, just a few days ago. And what she was doing is she was helping them perform a yearly review from last year and then choosing the perfect scheduling strategy based on that information for themselves this year. So it's just, that's something you can do at home. You can look up the strategies that you like and start working on your calendar for this year just to make it a better, more clean, clear situation for getting things plugged in. You could join the elites and you can watch that challenge and take part in it, as well as discuss with our organization coach how to get better prepped and organized for the year. That's also an option if you want some help from her and me. Of course, I'll be in there. We can help you get it set up. I will say that a popular strategy that a lot of people talk about is called block scheduling. So if you don't want any help, you just want kind of a place to start, you could look at that. It's not for everyone, I will put that out there, but it is popular. So just as an idea. And then number three, we want to make space for healthy boundaries. I kind of sound like a therapist right now, but it is because our industry as well, full of a lot of people pleasers, but also what we're doing is we're helping people celebrate life events a lot of times, right? No matter if you have a storefront or just do custom work, a lot of times people are purchasing what we make for a special event. And again, with the nature of food, sometimes we can become quite friendly with our clients, which isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing, but that can easily gray boundaries. It's just part of it. So although it can seem innocent at first to break the boundaries and keep pushing back and back and back, one, that's not required of you. Having strong, healthy boundaries is a good thing for everybody. And you don't have to be available all the time. And you don't have to say yes all the time because you're a person with a life that does other things. And the people that are purchasing your services do understand that. Now, if you continue to push your boundaries back, they're going to take what they can get because they think it's okay with you. So try not to confuse an ask with a demand. If they're asking, the answer can be no, right? If they're demanding, then they're probably not a good client. Okay. So if they're asking you, a no is a perfectly acceptable answer. And you can help them find someone else, have a couple, what I suggest is having a couple referrals on hand for other people in the area that can help, sending them to someone else, or just letting them know, hey, I don't have a referral for you, but I would love to help you in the future. So please let me know earlier next time, or, just send me a message when you're ready to order again, and we'll check the calendar. Because, you can't do everything. You're only either one person or one small team, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. Okay. There are many examples. I get a lot of questions about, I want to have boundaries, but I don't even know what that means, right? We could be so far into it that we don't even really understand what a healthy one looks like. Totally get that too. So there are many examples of what it could be. Again, it's going to be based on you, your environment, your lifestyle. For me, my favorite is setting a minimum for custom work. For me, it's a dollar amount. For you, it could be, basically what do they have to order to get me, if I'm taking a break, what amount do they have to order for me to get up and actually turn the oven on? Like, what is that? And that's your minimum. And having open and close times posted somewhere. So just understanding, I start at 9, I close at 5. Even if you're not working that whole day, that's just your open and close time. So that's when you talk to customers. That's when you set up pickups. That's when you do your baking. That's when you do your clerical work. And just understanding my whole life isn't my job. So 9 to 5, that's what I do. Sometimes it's 10 to 5, sometimes it's 9 to 4, sometimes I don't work, right? So I just try to keep it in between there so I'm not rushed in the morning and I have my evenings to myself for the most part. Okay. Now, although I do want to mention this because I talked about it last week, although it is a more intricate process than the 3 that I've mentioned, I only work on projects that have an estimated positive ROI. So in other words, I only work on projects that I am almost completely certain that there will be a positive outcome from my time and energy spent on that. It comes with experience. I know if you're new, that might be harder to conceptualize every time an opportunity comes up, but I want you to start looking at it that way. So every time someone says, hey, do you want to donate to this thing? Hey, do you want to come to this event? Hey, do you want to take this order? Think about the probability of that project paying off pretty big, right? After you've completed it. And think about, if I do this donation, like for example, if you're donating to a cause that you've never heard of, they've never contacted you before, and you don't have anything to do with their organization or their the people who will be there, might not be a good option, right? You're not connected to them. The time and energy that you're spending on the donation probably doesn't make sense with that one. But let's say it's a group that you are highly connected with, and you know a lot of people that are going to be in attendance. That might be a good one because there's more ROI, right? There's more return on that particular donation versus the one that you have no connection to. So just try to kind of weigh your options so you can be pickier when the opportunities arise, and then you can hopefully have more successes building on that time that you're spending. Because your time is precious, and we need to stack as much productivity into the time you decide to work. So not being super productive all the time. It's not about that. It's about stacking the time that you are working so that it is hopefully as revenue building as possible, so that when you're off, you can have more fun, you have more income to spend, and live your life outside of baking when you're planning all that great off time. Okay. So to cover quickly, again, what we talked about, 1, pay yourself first with time. It's the biggest one. You have to start doing this. Definitely just start with a routine, pick a couple options you want to stick with, get your calendar ready, sit down, let's see, January's almost over. So February, March, April, maybe, and schedule that out now. Block them out, see how that feels. You can revise again in a couple months. 2, a good fitting schedule strategy. Look up some strategies, see what you might want to try out. Might be using even something simple like using highlighters or different colored pens, or just being more diligent about how you're spending your time, as in number 3, getting those healthy boundaries set up so that you, when you are working, you're working and that's what you're doing. And when you're off, right? Okay, so that's what I had for you today. I'm hoping that'll get some wheels turning on time management as you're getting started with your bakery, or if you just need to revamp your time management, and getting you thinking about ways that you can just get set up better this year so that 2023 is looking a little more clear, a little more successful, a little more direct than maybe last year was. If you would like to chat about time management in general, it's kind of my dig, so I would love to talk to you. I can give you some more personalized guidance as well if we were talking one-on-one. You can schedule your 20-minute complimentary call. There's 1 per person, they're free. You can set it up, we can talk about that or another subject. I like to get you like a small win within that 20 minutes. So it's not a call trying to sell you anything. It's just 20 minutes spent on you to get you some mentorship and direct assistance with something that's on your mind. You can set that up. You can also set up a full strategy call, which is an hour, and we can really dive in deep and get you some solid plans set up. Or you can get your hands on the sessions and the coaches inside of the group elite program I mentioned earlier. That's all set up in there already for you. So there's lots of options to make sure that you feel secure and clear as we move into the new year. You can DM me if you want any of that information. You can comment here with time management, and I can just send the links to your inbox or to your messages, whatever works best, so that you have it on hand. You can browse, you can look at it and see what's there. Okay, you're welcome, Lucy and Tamara. Good to see you. Okay, so I am going to head downstairs, do some clerical work, make some yummies for my little porch pop-up today. Thanks for hanging out. You can post in the group whenever you want. You can send me a DM if you have a thought or you need some extra help, and I'll send any resources I have over to you. Okay, all right. I'll see y'all later. Have a great week, and I will see you next week. And we're going to start a new topic for February. Okay, see you then.